Hallo, guten Tag. Wir lesen ja heute weiter mit Emil. We're going to just read a little bit more today, and I want to, once we're done here, I will email you the vocabble quiz. So we're just going to read starting on, I believe, page 60. Let me double check here. Uh, yes, page 60. And I'm going to try to do whatever trick I did the other day to get uh, share the screen without blowing up the Chromebook. That's the main thing. All right, I think it's working. Good. Okay, so there we are. I'm going to leave that on there because if I take this off for some reason, it just doesn't like it. But next week's gonna be better. I'm going to start using a PC for this, so it should be able to run it just fine. I think it's just the Chromebook. But okay, so what you guys read yesterday led us up to the point where the grandmother and her waiting, of course, and Pony Hütchen, and he's not there. So Pony Hütchen nahm wieder ihr Rad. That's a Fahrrad, a bicycle, just slang. Like we say bike or bicycle, they say Rad or Fahrrad. Und inspizierte den Bahnhof. Es gab weiter keinen zweiten Blumenstand. So they're supposed to be waiting at a Blumenkiosk. But Pony Hütchen takes her bike and rides around the whole Friedrichstrasse station. So maybe there's another flower stand, that they didn't know about. So she goes to check it out. Aber es gab keinen zweiten Blumenstand. Blumenstand, Blumenkiosk, same thing. Dann fragte sie noch rasch zwei Eisenbahnbeamten. The Eisenbahnbeamten are people who work for the railway. All right, they're information people. They're just anyone who has a uniform on. That it indicates that they work for the railway, and they're usually all over a train station there to give information on arrivals, departures, tickets, whatever else. Löcher in den Bauch und kam stolz zurück. Also, talking to Grandma, erzählt sie, Blumenstände gibt es keine sonst. Wäre ja auch komisch. Was wollte ich noch sagen? Richtig. Der nächste Zug aus Neustadt kommt hier 20:33 Uhr an. So several hours later is the next train aus Neustadt. Das ist kurz nach 8:30. Wir gehen jetzt hübsch nach Hause und Punkt 8, right on the dot, 8 o'clock, fahre ich mit meinem Rad wieder hierher. Wenn er dann immer noch nicht da ist, kriegt er einen hundsgemeinen Brief von mir. Drücke dich etwas gewählter aus, Pony. Kriegt er einen Brief, der sich gewachsen hat, kann man auch sagen. Die Großmutter machte ein besorgtes Gesicht und schüttelte den Kopf. Die Sache gefällt mir nicht. Die Sache gefällt mir nicht. And this is a line that the grandma repeats throughout the book because what all she's saying here is, it reminds me of that line from Star Wars that they keep repeating. I think Han Solo says at first, I got a bad feeling about this. That's pretty much what it means. It literally means this matter doesn't please me, but it always indicates worry of some sort. So that's why I say I got a bad feeling about this. So Grandma's already got an intuition that, something's not right. But Pony's going to come back later when the next train comes in on her bike and pick him up. And if he's not on that train, then she's going to write him a nasty letter, she said. So, Die Großmutter macht die Sache gefällt mir nicht, erklärte sie. Wenn sie aufgeregt war, sagte sie nämlich alles zweimal. So when she was really worried, she always said things twice. Die Sache gefällt mir nicht. Die Sache gefällt mir nicht. Sie gingen langsam nach Hause, unterwegs an der Weidendammer Brücke. And by the way, the Weidendammer Brücke is that's one cool thing about this book, and I'm going to show you that next week, is that these are all real places and real streets. And you read about Kaiser Allee yesterday. That was one of the questions I asked you to look for. Kaiserallee is a real place, a real street, and it's been renamed though, because there is no Kaiser anymore, but it's renamed now Bundesallee, which means like Federal Avenue as opposed to Kaiser Avenue. But this place, the Weidendammer, sorry, that's my place here. This bridge they're talking about, the Weidendammer Brücke, is really just right next to the train station. When you come out of the train station and you were to go north, you would actually pretty much have to cross over this bridge. So they're just right outside. They must be heading back home now. Let's see here. Fragte Ponyhütchen Großmutter, willst du dich nicht auf die Lenkstange setzen? So the Lenkstange is the handlebars of a bicycle. So she's asking her grandmother, willst du nicht auf die Lenkstange setzen? Halte den Mund, which is the nicest way to say shut up, I suppose. Halte den Mund. Wieso? Why? Schwerer als Zicklers Arthur bist du auch nicht. Und der sitzt oft drauf, wenn ich fahre. So there's some friend of hers named, I think they get these names backwards, Arthur Zickler. She says, you're not heavier than Arthur Zickler, and he rides on my handlebars all the time. Wenn das noch ein einziges Mal vorkommt, nimmt dir dein Vater das Rad für immer weg. If you mention that again, your dad's going to take your bike away. Ach, euch darf man aber gar nichts erzählen, schimpfte Pony. All sie zu Hause, Schumannstraße 15, which is a real address. It's kind of cool. I don't think I've ever walked by that address. Some of these places I've actually gone to or had been to already. And anyway, but I know I've looked it up and it is a real address on Google Earth Street View. Schumannstraße 15 angekommen gab es bei Ponys Eltern. Heimbold hießen sie. Große Aufregung. So earlier it said that when grandma gets aufgeregt, she repeats things twice. And here there's große Aufregung, lots of concern. Yeah. And this is their last name, Heimbold. So it's Emil's cousin's family. It's his mom's sister's family. So her maiden name was well, no, it wouldn't have been Tischbein, but anyway, her married name is Heimbold. Jeder wollte wissen, wo Emil war, und keiner wusste es. Everyone wanted to know, but no one knew, wo Emil war. Der Vater rief an Emils Mutter zu depeschieren. Gottes Willen, rief seine Frau, Ponys Mutter. Sie würde sich zu Tode erschrecken. Wir gehen gegen 8. Yeah. So yeah, he starts to call the mom to say, hey, your son didn't arrive. And Pony's mom is like, this is a great line. Gottes Willen, for heaven's sake, or for God's sake. Yeah. She would worry herself to death. Sie würde sich zu Tode erschrecken. Wir gehen gegen 8 Uhr noch einmal auf den Bahnhof. Vielleicht kommt er mit dem nächsten Zug. Hoffentlich, jammerte die Großmutter, aber ich kann mir nicht helfen. I can't help myself. Die Sache gefällt mir nicht. Die Sache gefällt mir nicht. Die Sache gefällt mir nicht, sagte Ponyhütchen und wiegte bedenklich ihr kleines Haupt hin und her. And she nodded her head back and forth like this. So she's kind of making fun of grandma a little bit, but a little bit worried also. Bedenklich means really thoughtfully. Yeah, but she's mimicking her grandmother a little bit, I think. And then her grandmother said that phrase twice again. Yeah, well, it's a scary thing. Kid, I'm supposed to be arriving, big city, and all of a sudden he's not around anymore. Okay, 8. Kapitel, 8th chapter. Der Junge mit der Hupe taucht auf. And a hupe, by the way, the verb hupen is to honk, a horn. And a hupe is a horn. So it sounds like a funny title. The boy with the horn, shows up. Auftauchen is a word that gets used a lot, mainly in literature, although it can be used in real life to mean like when do they show up, or when when does this character arrive or that character or this when does this theme or this idea pop up in the story. Anyway, der Junge mit der Hupe taucht auf. So in der Trautenaustraße, Ecke Kaiserallee. So again, these are two. I keep saying this, but two real streets in Berlin. But again, Kaiserallee is now called Bundesallee. But Trautenaustraße still exists. In der Trautenaustraße, Ecke Kaiserallee. So the corner of Kaiserallee. And Ecke is one of our vocab words here coming up, or part of a phrase. Der Mann im steifen Hut, lost my place. Verließ der Mann im steifen Hut die Straßenbahn. And verließ is past tense of verlassen, to leave. So he's done riding Straßenbahn 177 und der Mann stieg aus der Straßenbahn aus. Emil sah es, nahm Koffer und Blumenstrauß, sagte zu dem Herrn, remember there was this guy who paid his ticket for him, that was the question yesterday, sagte zu dem Herrn, der die Zeitung las, haben Sie nochmals verbindlichen Dank, mein Herr, und kletterte vom Wagen. Der Dieb ging am Vorderwagen vorbei, überquerte die Gleise und steuerte nach der anderen Seite der Straße. Dann fuhr die Bahn weiter, gab den Blick frei und Emil bemerkte, dass der Mann zunächst unschlüssig stehen blieb und dann die Stufen zu einer Café-Terrasse hinaufschritt. So again, he's kind of looking around a little bit. Herr Grundeis thinks he's probably gotten away with it, but crosses the street, the tracks, I mean, from the Straßenbahn, and goes up to a Café-Terrasse, where you can sit outside, and it's kind of elevated a little bit, off the street level, but you're kind of sitting above the sidewalk level. Pretty common thing, actually, in Berlin and in Europe, in big cities especially. But so he's going to get something to eat, it sounds like, or something to drink, we don't know. Jetzt hieß es wieder, einmal vorsichtig sein. Have to be careful. Wie ein Detektiv, and there we have that word for the first time. Wie ein Detektiv. Die Flöre fängt. Emil orientierte sich flink. Flink means on the instant. It's just quickly. He orients himself real quickly. Entdeckte an der Ecke of Trautenaustraße und Kaiserallee, einen Zeitungskiosk. So we had a Blumenkiosk, now a newspaper stand, und lief so rasch konnte dahinter. Das Versteck war ausgezeichnet. The hiding place was perfect or excellent. Es lag zwischen dem Kiosk und einer Litfaßsäule. Der Junge stellte sein Gepäck hin, put down his luggage, nahm die Mütze ab, took off his hat, und witterte. Just kind of starts to wonder what he should do next. So this another new word here, Litfaßsäule. Litfaßsäule is a something that's that was invented in Berlin. Now I've seen them in bigger cities in Germany, and they have them in Paris and Copenhagen and other big cities in Europe. And all they are, by the way, Litfaß was a guy's name, and I guess you would say he was kind of the first. Not the first marketing person, but I want to say it was back in the late 19th century, early 20th century. He had this idea for buying these little or leasing these little pieces of property on the sidewalk from the city. And then he would erect these large, and that's what a Säule is a column. And the column is really a thick, column, and there may be 10 feet high, of course, circular. And on the Litfaßsäule, as it came to be known, people can put, of course, it's all very organized. You can't just throw anything that you want to up there. But in fact, you pay to put these things up on the Litfaßsäule. It costs money. That's how we made money off this. Posters of upcoming events, concerts. The Philharmonic always has poster on there, the ballet, all the kind of big things. Then there are smaller venues that anyone that can afford to put things. But these things are all over Berlin, and I'll show you a picture next week because I've got a slideshow about some of this, of all these Litfaßsäulen, and it's kind of a good idea. It wouldn't work here because not enough people are walking or on foot. But there in a city like that, you've got a lot of foot traffic on the sidewalks, and these are really on the sidewalks. And so I've actually found out about things going on that I think would be fun to do with students or when I'm there myself, and because they advertise all the cultural stuff and then rock concerts and everything else too. So you kind of find out a lot on these things. But of course, people pay to put their poster up there, and that's how Herr Litfaß actually became a very, very rich man. And his grave is actually in Berlin, and of course, I've been to it. Yeah, I got to see his grave. Geez, that's an icon. He was buried in the same cemetery with Hegel and Marcuse and Bertolt Brecht and a lot of other, in a really cemetery that has a lot of famous people buried there. Litfaß is one of the lesser known people, but okay, sorry. Der Mann hatte sich auf die Terrasse gesetzt, dicht ans Geländer, close to the sidewalk, but on that edge, rauchte eine Zigarette und schien seelenvergnügt. He seems to be just at peace with everything, at peace with the world. Emil fand es abscheulich, dass ein Dieb überhaupt vergnügt sein kann und dass der Bestohlene betrübt sein muss und wusste sich keinen Rat. He just finds it really wrong that a person who's a thief can be so happy with himself and so at peace, while the person who got ripped off or stolen from is the one who's got to be worried about, and it just didn't make any sense to him. Was hatte es denn im Grunde für einen Sinn, dass sich hinter einem Zeitungskiosk verbarg? Yeah, why is he the one hiding behind a newspaper stand? Als wäre selber der Dieb und nicht der andere, like he's a thief, yeah? Was hatte es für einen Zweck? Dass wusste, der Mann säße im Café Josti, that's what this cafe is called, Café Josti, and that used to be a real place, but it's not there anymore, and there's a new Café Josti, well, I say new, that's in Berlin. I went there last summer, and I think I saw Robert Redford there, but that's another story. I've got pictures, of course. Anyway, Robert Redford's married to a German artist, if you didn't know that. And so it's real possible that was him. It sure looked like him. He's gotten a lot older, though. But okay, so this guy's sitting in the original Café Josti an der Kaiserallee, trinke ein helles Bier, rauchte Zigaretten, und wenn der Kerl jetzt aufstand, konnte die Rennerei weitergehen. The Rennerei is the chase, and once he gets up to leave, the chase goes on. Bleibt aber, dann konnte Emil hinter dem Kiosk stehen, bis einen langen grauen Bart kriegte. He could be standing there till he got a long gray beard. Es fehlte wirklich nur noch, dass ein, lost my place here, Schuppermann angerückt kam und sagte, mein Sohn, du machst dich verdächtig. Los, folge mir mal, unauffällig. Sonst muss ich dir leider Handschellen anlegen. So the Schuppermann is a negative term for policeman. So he's the one, looks like he's the thief hiding behind a newspaper stand. And so this guy, he's worried that a cop's going to come up and say, son, you look, du machst dich verdächtig. You look suspicious. You're acting suspicious. Come on, follow me. No fuss. Otherwise, I'll have to put the Handschellen handcuffs on you. Well, so anyway, he's got plenty to worry about. Plötzlich hupte es dich hinter Emil. There's the word hupen. Someone honked right behind, like there's a car behind him or something. Sprang erschrocken zur Seite, fuhr herum und sah einen Jungen stehen. There's another boy behind him. Das ihn auslachte. It's laughing at him. Na Mensch, fall nicht gleich Vom Stühlchen, sagte der Junge. Don't fall from your chair. Wer hat denn eben hinter mir gehupt? Fragte Emil. Na Mensch, ich natürlich. Du bist wohl nicht aus Wilmersdorf, wie? So it was me, of course. You're obviously not from Wilmersdorf, yeah? Or are you? Sonst wüsstest du längst, dass ich eine Hupe in der Hosentasche habe. Ich habe hier nämlich bekannt, wie eine Missgeburt. Ich bin aus Neustadt und komme gerade vom Bahnhof. So, this guy, as strange as it sounds, I think his name is Gustav, if I remember right. Gustav, I think that's right. He always carries this like horn, or like he's a comedian or something. And he carries a horn around with him. And everyone knows that. And that's why he knows, well, you must not be from Wilmersdorf. Because if you were, you would know that who it is. Emil answers by says 9, Ich bin aus Neustadt und komme gerade vom Bahnhof. By the way, I should say Wilmersdorf. This is the area that he's in. So Berlin, I've talked this a long time ago, I know, but Berlin is divided up into these districts or subcities or whatever. But actually, subcities is a different word. But districts, and Wilmersdorf is one of those districts. It's a very nice middle class, maybe parts of it upper middle class district of Berlin. Very, very quiet, and the school we used to go to was just over the border from Wilmersdorf into another district. Actually, when I've been there, I lived in Wilmersdorf, and it's a very peaceful place to be. Anyway, that's where he is. So this is where this kid's from too. So, aus Neustadt. Deswegen hast du einen doofen Anzug an. That's why you got that stupid suit on. Nimm das zurück. Take that back. Sonst klebe ich dir eine, dass du scheintot hinfällst. Na Mensch, sagte der andere gutmütig. Bist du böse? Are you angry? Das Wetter ist mir zum Boxen zu vornehmen. Aber von mir aus bitte. Verschieben wir es später. We gotta put it off till later, erklärte Emil. Ich habe jetzt keine Zeit für sowas. Und er blickte nach dem Café hinüber, ob Grundeis noch dort säße. Ich dachte sogar, du hättest viel Zeit. Stellt sich mit Koffer und Blumenkohl hinter. Now, Blumenkohl is not a. What he really has is a flower. What do you call it? A bouquet? Blumenkohl is a whole different thing, but he's making fun of him still. Blumenkohl actually means cauliflower, but there's the word flower in there, I guess. Blumenkohl hinter die Zeitungsbude und spielt mit sich selber Verstecken. Da muss doch glatt 10 bis 20 Meter übrig haben. Nein, sagte Emil, ich beobachte einen Dieb. I'm watching a thief. Was? Ich verstehe fortwährend Dieb? Meinte der andere Junge, wen hat er denn beklaut? Who did he steal from? I'm gonna this next couple of lines here on page 64. Mich, stole from me, sagte Emil und war direkt stolz darauf. In der Eisenbahn, in the train, während ich schlief, while I slept, 140 Mark. Die solle ich meiner Großmutter hier in Berlin geben. Dann ist er ein anderes Coupé geturnt und am Bahnhof Zoo ausgestiegen. Ich natürlich hinterher, I followed behind him. Kannst du dir denken? Dann auf die Straßenbahn und jetzt sitzt er drüben im Café mit seinem steifen Hut und ist guter Laune. He sits over there in his stiff hat and he's in a good mood. Na Mensch, das ist ja großartig, that's great, rief der Junge. Das ist ja wie im Kino. It's like in the movies. Okay, well, I'm going to stop there because I'm going to email you the vocabulary quiz. And so that'll be coming shortly. Yeah, I'm going to wait till the end of the class. I'm recording this course ahead of time. I'm wait till the end of class, and I will email you that. Let me see here. Okay. see if it comes. Ah, there I am. Towards the end, like the last 20 minutes or so. Okay? So, schönes Wochenende und wir sehen uns am Montag, Kinder, am Montag. Ciao, schönes Wochenende. Auf Wiedersehen und